Hey boys and girls, welcome to 2T4W. Today we're doing a step-by-step coolant flush on a 3.8 Ecotec. So what you're going to need is you're going to need coolant, you're going to be needing a flathead, needles, you could use bigger versions of these, or you could just use some vice grips. You're going to need something sharp, and you're going to need some lighters, an air compressor, and a box. So yeah, it's quite you might not end up needing something sharp and lighters. The only reason I need that is because I'm going to be doing a DIY flush kit. You also need some coolant flush additive. I'm not going to be using that because I don't have it, and so I'm just going to be washing it out with water. Also going to need a Phillips and a 10mm ratchet. A funnel, very important. A hose. Yeah, it's very important. So what you're going to do first is you're going to lift up the car, both sides. If you have ramps, that's awesome. I don't. So you're going to want to chuck that box under. You're going to want to lift it up high enough for it to go under. Once you've got it under there, you're just going to want to make sure that it lines up. So you're going to be taking off here, so you're going to want to make sure that it lines up there. So what you're going to want to do next is you're going to get your vice grips or your needle noses, and you're going to hook them up right there to that, and I'll show you. Just like so here, and you're going to want to close them, and then you're just going to get it off. You're going to give it a wiggle or whatever. Make sure that it's off the lip at the end. Sometimes it's handy to just get your hand on there and just take it off. Then get those out your way. And sometimes this part can get messy, so you just want to make sure that you get it in the box. You're just going to wiggle this off really. There we go. Now you'll see it's draining. It's not muddy because I've actually done this already last night. I'm going to put a clip in on what it looked like. And yeah, so basically you just got that draining, and you want to open this so it flows out. Obviously I didn't have much in there, so yeah, I didn't put enough. I didn't bleed it either, so yeah, you just got that dripping down there. You want to get this one here undone, so getting that vice grip around it, like so. Getting that vice grip out of the way. Sometimes it needs to be on there. The trick is just put it on there, and then tighten it up a bit while it's around the clip there. So you can open it all the way, just like that. And you just take it off. Once it's off the lip, you're just going to be doing the same thing. Trying to get this off. Here we go. Oh, see, it's a little messy too sometimes. That's what you can expect. It's coolant. Well, this is actually just water because that's what I filled it back up with last night. But yep, this is where your hose comes into play. So what you want to do next is you want to grab this. You kind of just want to stuff this in there, to be honest. Just get it in there, and then turn it on, and make sure that it's lined up so you're not going to miss. So now that you've got it turned on, under here you're going to see it's draining from there right into there. So yep. Next you're going to want to go ahead and once you've got your flat screwdriver, you're going to come right over to this right here, and you're just going to unscrew it, get it loose, and pop it off. So there's probably going to be some water coming out of this if you just nah, not today. So this is where you're going to want a tool that I'm going to put on the screen that I do not have. So this is what I'm going to do, and it will work just as well. Yeah, we'll see if it works just as well. Since I require my hose for this next step, I'm just going to let this go. You're going to let this go until clear water's coming out, which mine is already because I've done this last night. And then you're going to go ahead and turn off the hose. So after I've turned off the hose and let it drain out until it's just dripping, because I'm lazy, but I might let it drain out a bit more. But your box is probably going to be nearly full, or if it isn't full already, you're going to want to empty it, because you don't want water all everywhere. That's why we have the box there. So let's go. So we've got this stuff. We're just going to biff it. See you later. So what I'm going to do for this next bit, I'm actually just going to disconnect here this hose and pull it out of there. Oh, that's not how it's supposed to come apart, but should be right. Just going to take that off there. That was how it's supposed to come apart. Should be right. So you got here. Oh, still got a bit of water in it. But that's alright. You're going to notice, if you're doing it this way, like I am, you're going to notice, obviously that doesn't fit there. So, taking that into account, what we're going to do is, going to get a lighter, and we're going to heat that up there. So, be aware while you do this part, and just be careful. Don't be silly with it. So, these will also come in handy here to separate, but you'll have your lighter. I've actually got a couple because I'm not sure if they both have enough gas in them. You'll need these. You'll get this, and you just basically heat it up. Make sure it's nice and warm. Obviously, don't be breathing it in and all that. Just keep your face nice and away from it. But just make sure it gets nice and warm. And then while it's warm, get your needles and really just give it a bit of a widening. And then once you've stretched it out a bit, double warm it up. Just really make, that lighter's not even going. Just really make sure it's melty, nice and warm on there. And then just, while it's still hot, go as fast as you can and really just try and loop it down the bottom. Start in the bottom, it makes it easier in the long run, and then just wiggle it on there. Try your best anyway. Sometimes you need to have a couple goes, but it's on there now. Make sure it's on there all the way around. If it's not on there all the way around, you might have some problems in the long run. So you just give it a twist or whatever you want to do. It's always handy to have a friend to hold it here as well while you do it, but not tonight. Well, not this afternoon. Clear your workspace, always nice to keep it clean. Here, so just make sure that this is pointed down at the pipe, down at the boxes, sorry. So for this next step here, you're going to want your something sharp, and you're just going to poke a hole in it. Just a tiny little hole, just to fit your nozzle in on your air compressor. Like so. That might not be enough. Like so. And you're just gonna... Oh, I broke it. Alright. It's not fully broken yet, so I'm just gonna see if I can still do it. So, you're gonna want to turn your hose on. You'll see it coming out down there. And with your air compressor, you're just gonna Give it some hand. Give it a helpful hand. Is that actually working? Yeah, it is. Alright, that's good. Oh, the tip's coming off. And before your bucket gets too full, you'll also want to come down here and you'll see there's a heater core. You're just going to want to flap that on, like just push it up. Push it up a couple times. Get the gross shit out of it. You can see here it's coming out. Yeah. So that's out. And now take all this off, put your pipes back on, and cut the end off here of your hose and just reconnect it. You'll lose probably an inch or two of hose. It's alright, it's worth the job in my opinion. Yep. So like I said, you're just gonna cut the hose with your sharp thing, just right there. And then you buff it again. Create a nice little waterfall. What I would do now is I would unbolt this and give this a clean. So I'll show you how to unbolt it and get it off and clean it out, and then we'll put it back on. So you've got 4 things that you need to undo. One thing here, and then one thing here, one thing up there, yep, up there, and then one thing right here too. So that's the Phillips 10mm, 10mm, 10mm. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna have to skip this part because I made a hole in that on accident with my screwdriver, and it's plastic. Not really sure how you're actually supposed to get it off. I probably learned one day and now I've forgotten, so I'm just gonna skip it. I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of water in it and hopefully give it a clear out. So I've gone ahead and given that as much as a wash as I can, and just came out the side and connects to there. I could probably give it more of a wash, but I don't got the right stuff on me right now. This is not the right way to do it, but this is just how I'm going to do it. So, yep, bear with me. Move my vice clamps out the way. There we go. Yep. Some foamy stuff coming out of that. A lot of foamy stuff. There we go, it's getting cleaner now. So once you've gone ahead and you've done up all the hoses, what you want to do next is here. You just want to, this is where you'll start to add that, if you have it, coolant flush additive, because that's, yeah, this is where you'll want to add it, and just water as well. So that and water, that's what you want to add now. And then you just basically want to fill it up, bleed it if you want. You don't really need to for this step, but you just fill it up, bleed it if you want, let it run for about 10 or so minutes, or however long you want. Probably, I'd say about 10 minutes. Wait till it gets pressurized and the fans have turned on, and then you're going to go ahead and do the whole process over again. So here we've got the car to running temperature, and so after getting it up to running temperature and letting it run on running temperature for a while, we're just going to undo that. So you can feel here that it's hot and pressurized. So the fans were on, it's hot, it's pressurized. So that means that the thermostat has opened up, and this is also hot. So now this is the caution part. You're just going to get a rag. Once you've got your rag, you're just going to here, and you're not going to open it all the way. You're only going to open it to the first notch, and you're going to feel all the pressure come out of it. Might drip a bit, and it'll be hot, so be careful. That's why we've got the rag. and let that just leak out. And what you're also going to want to do while it's on the first notch is you're just going to squeeze on the hoses. Let some of that pressure come out. Be careful of the hot water that might be dropping out. And then once you feel that there's less pressure in there now, you're just going to open it the rest of the way. Still be cautious, just in case, because you never know. So I'm going to take that off now. There you go. And that's how you depressurize it when it's still hot. Now with that all undone, we're just going to repeat the whole process of taking the hoses off and clearing it out and putting the water through and everything like that, get it fully drained, and then we're going to put the coolant in and we're going to bleed it, and then you're all good to go. Perfect! So now, if you have the right part, which I'll put on screen, you'll get something like this with a nozzle in it that connects to one of these, and you just chuck it on. But I don't have that, so I'm just going to use a mate. He's going to hold this here for me nice and tight, make sure it isn't going to be letting air in and all that, and I'm just going to fill it up and you're going to watch the process. We get the coolant and you do it till it don't let you know more. And my mate here is just going to keep holding pressure down so it's always locked tight. And what I'm going to do as well, while that bubble's down, I'm going to get a big screwdriver, and over here I'm just going to undo a little nipple, the bleed nipple they call it. So here we go, and you can hear that letting air out. And we're going to let that come out. It should start. And we're going to let it do that until it has a steady stream coming out. You'll see at the moment around, I'm already out of coolant, that's alright. You'll see right now it's already letting a steady stream out. So that means it's already bled, because it's not pooping and farting. Yeah. So since it's already bled, I don't know how, but it is, I'm just going to do it back up. Yeah, I'm just going to do it back up. And then that's basically it done. You've bled your system, you've filled it up, you've done a good job. Go tell your friends and your parents that you've done a good job and they'll be proud of you. And then you're all done, all finished, can go home. Go rip a skid, go do what you want. Alright. See you later. And somewhere along the way in the process, your beautiful girlfriend's going to make you a pizza taco. And you'll enjoy that. You're good to get some food in you.